a little bit more interesting. It was a little bit quicker, and I started the stream much later than I expected. And one of the things I just wanted to lead into was taking notes in a little bit different way. I find that when I'm trying to like put everything into like a container to refer to later, and I'm also playing a game, by the way, so that's what's going on the screen. One of the things that I try to do is consolidate all my notes. And the way to do that some of the time is to have an automation that kind of you can like tag or flag, and then they just kind of pile into one platform or another. But one of the platforms that I use a lot for keeping notes is Slack. And for those of you who use Slack, that might be obvious as far as just like having organized everything in threads. And I also just basically put a headline on a container, and then I'll just fill that container or that thread with a bunch of the same topic. So, for example, let's see how we can share my iPhone screen just to give you the intro into this. Because I enabled sharing from my mobile to desktop. And before it didn't used to take up the whole damn screen, but I can't seem to minimize this, so that's what it's going to be like right now. So typically, if I'm looking at something like this, like an article, I'll go to share with, and then I'll use Slack, and then I'll organize it with the server or the instance name, and then the thread that I want to put it in. And the problem is with this, the only problem with this is you have to have all your channels organized, because it won't let you add any channels. You just have to use the channels that exist. So sometimes I have like a catch-all channel, because if I have an off-topic thing I want to keep, I'll just put it in that one channel and organize it later and create a new channel in the mobile or the desktop later on to capture more of these articles or more of these things I just want to save for a later review. That also is something I do with Discord. I'll also use it the same way, but it also in Discord, there's ways that you can follow channels in Discord, and I'll show you that later. But what I thought was interesting for those of us who don't want to pay for Slack is there is in the marketplace, back to my good friend DigitalOcean, I like being able to just spin up instances of different servers so I can play around with these things. So we have Zulip, not Zubil. And this, I don't know if it's a clone of Slack, but it has been referred to in regards to something that's very similar to Slack and has a couple features that are even better than Slack, and as far as some of the forums and some of the reviews I've seen. So let's get into where are we going to serve this. Okay, Zulip, yes. Shared instance, yes, yes, yes. But where's the region? I didn't see the region like I usually do. Oh, there it is. Region, San Francisco 3. So we can go to the, yes, the premium Intel. Okay, so we need to go up here because it needs a little more disk space than the minimal instance or virtual machine. Let's use the same. Oh, I don't have that file on this computer. Let's manage passwords. Oh, no, not manage. I want to generate a password. Let's see. Let me get a file. Let me check to see if I saved that information. Oh, and also, I lost. Let's go back into the game. No, I didn't save it. So let's just use this. And hopefully that, well, let's try something else. Hopefully that's good enough. I don't think this lets me end it with a number though, so that's going to be a problem. No, this is better to do it this way. You gotta have the and then you cannot end just like I thought. Okay, so let's add the A at the end. And create the droplet. And we'll have to finish this pre-PBX thing later. We just need to, I should probably delete it because I want to go through the whole thing from the very start, where we create the extensions first, then we go into create DIDs or add DIDs, which are zip chunks, otherwise known as numbers. And then what else can we do to start? Oh, we can probably get the app. Let's go back to share the screen. And I think this has an app. I'm sure it has an app, but I'm sure it doesn't have a very good review for some reason. Let's see. And we'll get that. So we can add an account or use the server right away or connect to the server right away. So what do we need to do after we get it spun up? Can use the following command to do what? Okay, let's just try to log in. See if it's as easy as the free PBX as was yesterday. It's unsafe and internal service, so that's not it. Okay, so there's a configuration script. And that's why we need to log into the server. Okay. Type yes, okay, fine. And the password is back to this password that we created. Okay, all good. So now what? Zulip setup. Okay, enter to continue. Great. I'll use my normal web admin password. I have no host name, so let's just use the IP address. I haven't set this thing up to... Oh wow, I didn't even name the server. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm losing because I'm not playing. Let's see if we can add some characters here.
I'm ready to kill for you.
I'll stand by you.
Well, as soon as this thing's finished, then we'll connect to the web app and the or through a web browser and the app, the mobile app. Okay, so the URL for the server. This is what I'm looking at on the Zlip app. And it wants the IP address, which I did not write down, so I'm going to have to kind of jump around here. Oh, well, let me out. Yeah, this app didn't used to force a full screen. So it is 146 190
Victory.
112 73. Okay, I can't enter it quite yet because I don't think the server's ready. Oh, let me record my screen. And this thing's still running. Okay, let me go into Do Not Disturb on this phone. And okay, so what I'm waiting for is the server to finish, and then this particular configuration can actually continue once I have a server that's functioning. I'll enter this, and then I wonder if I need to create credentials or if I can just add them from the mobile app. I'm sure I have to have the username on the account or on the server. What issue? Yeah. Okay, so now I just learned something that I'm going to have to install this after I have a fully qualified domain name ready to go. And I'm not prepared to do that in the slightest. So I guess we could try. Let's see what it takes. Domain names. Okay, let's try something else. Let's go to the domain names and see what if I can do quickly to get something going.
We can turn.
I might need the two-factor authentication, which I use with Authy. I think Authy is one of the best two-factor platforms. I really like it. It's basically like using kind of like Telegram. You authenticate with your phone